grand ballroom of the Regal Meridian Hotel was alive with energy, buzzing with the murmurs of Hollywood's elite, gliding through the space like modern-day royalty. The room glittered with chandeliers that cast dazzling reflections on the marble floors, while camera flashes sparked like lightning from every corner. Reporters scrambled for interviews and fans screamed from beyond the velvet ropes outside, desperate to catch even a glimpse of their favorite stars. The air was thick with the scent of expensive cologne and the hum of whispered gossip. Jason Statham adjusted his tie, his sharp eyes constantly scanning the crowd. Tonight was the annual Film Excellence Awards, one of the most prestigious nights of the year, and he wasn't about to let his guard down. Years of being in the public eye had sharpened his instincts to a razor's edge, and even in the middle of glitz and glamour, he remained hyper-aware. Beside him, Rosie Huntington Whiteley looked every bit the goddess in an emerald green gown that clung to her curves, her blonde hair cascading like liquid gold. She smiled at him, eyes bright and confident, and Jason couldn't help but feel a surge of pride. They moved seamlessly through the crowd, stopping occasionally for photos and brief conversations. Rosie handled socializing with practiced grace, her laughter lighting up the room, while Jason maintained his stoic presence, offering polite nods and brief firm handshakes. He wasn't much for small talk, but Rosie was a natural, effortlessly charming everyone in her path. As they made their way toward their table, Jason couldn't ignore the slight tension prickling at the back of his neck. He had learned to trust his instincts, a sense honed from years of dealing with danger, both on and off the screen. The evening seemed normal, but something was off. It wasn't anything obvious, just a gut feeling that he couldn't shake. Before we dive deeper into this gripping and intense story, let us know where you're watching from today. And if tales of action, drama, and standing up for what's right captivate you, don't forget to subscribe to Story Dash. Soon we'll share another story that will leave you speechless. Then it happened. A tall, impeccably dressed man stepped into their path. His hair was perfectly styled, his suit tailored to perfection, and his smile as sharp as a razor. Jason clocked him instantly, reading the arrogance etched into his posture. "Rosie," the man called out smoothly, flashing a movie star grin. "Huge fan. Could I trouble you for a photo?" Rosie glanced at Jason, who gave her a slight nod. Ever professional, she smiled warmly and allowed the man to wrap an arm lightly around her waist as they posed for the camera. But something in the man's lingering touch sent a warning signal through Jason's mind. He didn't like it. Not one bit. The flash of the camera captured the moment, and Rosie politely stepped back. But the man didn't move. Instead, he leaned closer, his voice dropping to a quieter, more intimate tone. "Would you mind giving me your number?" he asked smoothly. "Would love to catch up sometime. You know, chat about fashion or life." Rosie hesitated, taken aback. No thank you," she said, trying to keep her tone light but firm. Jason stepped forward, his presence like a wall of steel between the man and Rosie. "We're good, mate," he said firmly. The man glanced at Jason with a smirk, not immediately backing down. "No harm in asking," he replied, giving Rosie a wink before reluctantly stepping away. Jason didn't take his eyes off him until he disappeared into the crowd. "You okay?" Jason asked, turning to Rosie. She nodded, though a bit shaken. "Yeah, just weird," Jason grunted. "Doesn't feel right?" A few minutes later, Jason excused himself to the restroom, giving Rosie a quick peck on the cheek. As he walked away, he remained vigilant, glancing back to make sure she was still safe. But as soon as he was out of sight, trouble reappeared. The same man had circled back, sliding up next to Rosie like a snake. "Guess your boyfriend's too busy to notice, huh?" he whispered. Rosie froze, her polite mask dropping. "What do you want?" He leaned in, his hand brushing her arm. "You. I could show you a better time than that old tough guy." "Back off," Rosie said, her voice firmer this time. But the man didn't listen, his grip tightening on her wrist. "Come on, babe. You know you want it." Suddenly, a strong hand clamped onto his shoulder and yanked him backward with surprising force. Jason was back, and his face was stone cold, his eyes like ice. "You've got about 2 seconds to let go before I break your hand," Jason growled. The man scoffed, trying to look unimpressed. Back off, Grandpa. This is between me and the lady. Without another word, Jason twisted the man's arm behind his back, making him yelp in pain. You like putting your hands on women? Jason hissed. Let's see how tough you are now. Rosie watched, her heart pounding, both relieved and terrified. Jason didn't ease up, keeping the man's arm twisted at a painful angle. You're making a mistake, the man snapped. Jason leaned in close, his voice low and deadly. The only mistake was thinking she needed your attention. Apologize. The man grunted, teeth clenched. Fine. I'm sorry. Jason let him go with a shove, sending him stumbling forward. The man turned to glare at him, but the determination in Jason's eyes made it clear that pushing his luck further would be a grave mistake. He muttered something under his breath before slinking off, defeated. Jason turned to Rosie, his expression softening. You all right? Rosie gave a small nod, managing a smile. Yeah, thanks. Jason wrapped an arm around her waist, pulling her close. Nobody messes with you. Not on my watch. By the next morning, headlines blazed across entertainment news sites. Jason Statham protects Rosie at awards. Drunk fan learns the hard way. Action star defends fiancé from aggressive fan. Statham shows he's a hero in real life. Rosie Huntington, whitely harassed at awards. Jason Statham to the rescue. Rosie, scrolling through her phone the next morning, couldn't help but laugh. You're trending again, she teased. Jason shrugged, sipping his coffee. Guess they finally found a story worth printing. Rosie kissed his cheek. My hero. Would you have done what Jason did? Let us know in the comments. Sometimes being a hero isn't about fighting, it's about standing up for the ones you love. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Story Dash for more powerful, action-packed, and life-changing stories.